All right, we are live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Eli. Glad you could all join me here today for another show filled with positivity and happiness. I've got a great message to put out here today. I started putting this out yesterday on YouTube only, but I wanted to get this out as quickly as possible to both the YouTube and Facebook audience. So you're not going to want to miss this show, whether you're here live or on the replay. Lots of great stuff happening here at the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. And you're going to want to be a part of it all the way through, and you're not going to want to miss a single bit of it. But before we get to the show, let me first of all make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. Let me check out the back end of YouTube first of all and make sure that it is rolling smoothly. Give me just a second here. Well, while I wait for YouTube, let me check out Facebook. Facebook seems to be rolling well. Fantastic. And the back end of YouTube is also rolling well. Let me make sure that the YouTube notification went out. And let me do a sound check on YouTube and Facebook as quickly as possible to both the YouTube and Facebook audience. So you're not going to want to miss this show, whether you're here live or on the replay. All right. So YouTube is rolling well. We are also live on Facebook. I see myself on the feed there. Glad you can all join me here today for another just a second here. All right. Everything is rolling smoothly. How are you all doing today? Lots and lots and lots of stuff going on. All good stuff. And I've got to start off by saying here today that when I first started talking about this yesterday, the way I presented it in a different way than I have before, amplifying your happiness, I realized that is exactly what the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA, has always been about. It's about amplifying your happiness, because if you're not happy and in a good place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, etc., you're not going to be happy in your personal or professional life. You're going to fail at all aspects of your life, whether they're personal or professional, if you're not happy. So if we focus on amplifying your happiness, the rest will just fall into place, right? Now you still have to do the work, but I think you get what I'm saying. And I'll tell you this, it dawned on me yesterday, and ironically, my girlfriend's name is Dawn, but there's a figure of speech that people say, it dawned on me. I'll give my woman the credit. I mean, I came up with it. I'm just saying, I'll give my woman credit for anything. It's not about me taking credit for everything or anything. But yeah, I did come up with this. I was thinking about it. And I'm like, what is a better way to present this message? What is a better way to get through to people? What is a better way to combat trolls, haters, detractors, people that are miserable, that truly need our help more than anyone else, right? The miserable haters and trolls and people that are stuck in a rut, they need the help more than anyone. Now, people that are already in a decent place want to improve. And that's what we also do here. We not only help people, with their personal development and helping people, find happiness and amplify their happiness, but we help people that are already in a good place improve through self-improvement or personal improvement, right? Self-help, right? That's what we're all about. So let's go ahead and get to the show today, because I'm only going to be on for about an hour or so. Then I'm going to spend some time with my girlfriend, Dawn, in the afternoon. And then I'm going to do a walk later, a live Walking with Purpose stream on the other YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, make sure you subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. GNA and GNA2. Okay. Right now on YouTube, we are on the main channel, GNA, Genuine Live Personal Development. The link is in the description of Facebook. But you're going to want to be a part of GNA2, which is Genuine Live Personal Development. And that's where, my girlfriend Dawn and I, when Dawn does join me, we do our mobile streams there. I do my mobile Walking with Purpose streams there, and those are not able to be simulcasted on Facebook. So if you want to catch those and you're on Facebook, make sure you subscribe to both channels, especially GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. The link is below in the description. Make sure you subscribe, and then you tap the notification bell, and make sure you have all notifications turned on, and you will not miss anything. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's do this thing. Let's do it because I'm in a great mood. Nothing will put me in a bad mood. And nothing should put you in a bad mood. Even the horrible stuff, you should just say, hey, you know what? It is what it is. Or other people are having a bad day and they're just projecting their bad day onto you or their misery onto you, right? Anyway, the topic of this show is the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, is about amplifying your happiness. One more time. The Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, is about amplifying your happiness. I've heard many creators on YouTube use the word amplify. And I got to give credit where credit is due. I've been watching a creator out on YouTube called Brian G. Johnson. He is a YouTube self-help guru. He knows a lot about YouTube. He's got a channel with close to 200,000 subscribers. He's had his struggles. He went through a divorce. He's been through a lot. And I can relate to a lot of things he's gone through. And I've been following him, I'd say probably for at least 4 or 5 years now. And his message was always, and still is, amplify your message. He uses the word amplify your message. And I was thinking about that yesterday. I was thinking about the word amplify. And how much more powerful would it be to say amplify your happiness instead of work on bettering your happiness? Or encouraging people to be more happy, right? Do you hear the difference? Amplify your happiness is a powerful statement. The word amplify makes you think of an amplifier that is amplifying sound, such as music, for example, right? And again, that's when it dawned on me, and I did that stream yesterday on GNA2. The replay is available, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. If you want to check out that replay, it was a great show. Check it out. But we're going to continue here today on the main GNA channel on YouTube and also on Facebook. And I'm going to share with you folks more examples on what it would take to get you to be the happiest you can be. Because there are people out here that say, I'm happy, but you're really not, right? And then there are people that, are happy and they can be happier, right? You can never be too happy, right? Tia's in the house. Hello, Tia. Welcome to the show. She says, hey, Eli, and hi, Lewis Fuller. Two of my great mods are here today. 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out on these in-studio streams. Thank you so much for being here. Dawn is in the other room, and she says hello. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get right to it here. I've got 3 Reddit postings I'm going to go over. I'm not going to read every single comment, but I'm going to read about 3 or 4 comments from each of these postings here, because they're very interesting, very important, and they're going to help you folks amplify your happiness, because that's what we're all about, right? So let's go ahead and switch on over to the browser screen over there. This first posting is from the subreddit r/ask Reddit. And it's interesting. All three of these postings just have a title, and, they didn't write, any more than just a title, which is fine. No problem, because the title says it all. Redditors who have found happiness, how did you get there? One more time. Redditors who have found happiness, how did you get there? Okay. 1.6K comments. Well, we're not going to go through all of them because we'll be here until the end of the year. And that's not going to happen. The first comment by Vertixt 5 years ago. This is still relevant today. Probably not the answer anyone is looking for, but a while ago I was hit by a car and I suffered traumatic brain injury among a long list of other injuries. The doctors said I may suffer some personality changes, and I guess they were right because I'm now happier than I was before, even though I have nerve damage and one of my eyes doesn't work properly. Vertixt, I got to tell you this. When traumatic events happen in life, it typically humbles people. Let me repeat that one more time. From what I've noticed, because I've dealt with traumatic events myself, such as my father passing away 14 years ago, traumatic events will humble people. Okay? The level of humility I see in people that have experienced trauma is far greater and better than people that haven't. Because if you haven't experienced anything traumatic, you really haven't experienced a whole lot in life. If everything, that you've experienced is perfect and all good, then you've got nothing to compare the bad to, and you can't learn how to handle and manage the bad. And let me tell you something. You can go your first 20, 30, 40 years of life and nothing bad happens, but then things will start to happen. And if you have no experience on how to deal with them at a younger age, you're going to struggle dealing with them as you get older, right? Or when you get older, or at an older age, right? That's a very, very good statement, and that's a great answer. And don't sell yourself short. And I understand you were in a car accident, and it's affected, your brain and nerve damage and all that. But I got to say, I commend you. I commend you for writing that. God bless you. Tia says, hi, Dawn. Wonderful. Let me let her know. Tia says, hello, babe. Dawn says hello. My girlfriend Dawn is in the living room. I'm in the studio room right next door. It's all good. Let's continue. After this comment, rate of car-related injuries increased by 130%. Oh, come on. They deleted their account. Now that's... Come on. Look at how trollish and dumb these people are. Get hit by a car and it won't bother you anymore. Did you not get the part about the brain injury? What's your excuse? I think they're commenting on the negative comments there. Oh, yeah. He got hit by a car and got brain damage, right? LOL, took me about 3 tries to fully understand it myself. These are very, very young, either teenagers or very immature Gen Zers in their 20s that, or they could have been millennials 5 years ago, like older millennials 5 years ago, that are just poking fun at this stuff. Like what I notice is a lot of millennials, especially millennial men, they're not into self-help or personal development because they think they know everything and they think it's their way or the highway, right? So I'm not surprised by these comments here, but yeah, they're very immature comments. They're very rude. And in my opinion, these people need major help. Let's skip on to the actual good comments here. Buckle up. We're headed to Happy Land. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We are in Happy Land here at the GNA, of course. And then another one says unbuckle. Okay. Veritext, the person that made that comment. The painkillers definitely took me to happy land for a while. Well, don't get dependent on those painkillers and medication. You find your happiness within yourself. But an accident like that is going to humble anyone, because you're going to start to value whatever you have left of your life much, much more after something traumatic like that happens that could have cost you your life. That's an amazing thing to gain after such a terrible experience, and despite the actual bad consequences of the injury, I'm very happy for you. Yeah, I'm happy too. This is great. This is good stuff. And another message there by a deleted account. Wow, I didn't mean this disrespectfully, but one of my cats got attacked by a dog. She had nerve damage and one eye is half closed and may not work. After she recovered, she's happier and friendlier than ever before. Yeah, because even the cat, even animals, when they get injured, they start to, humble themselves and realize that, hey, I don't want to waste my life being a mean person or, attacking other cats or dogs or whatever. I got attacked by a dog and I learned my lesson and it humbled me, right? Vertex, the original commenter, says, no disrespect taken. After something life-changing happens, it can change your entire outlook on life. The little things that used to bother you don't matter as much, etc. I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tia says, great point. Thank you, Tia. Thank you so much. 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. Okay. AJSCHDR says, you'd be surprised how beneficial cutting negative people out of your life is. Let me repeat that shit one more time. You'd be surprised how beneficial cutting negative people out of your life is. I could not agree with you anymore. I agree with you 1,000,000, billion, trillion% of that. Big round of applause. Again, I have nothing more to add to that. I mean, why would you want negative people in your life? Ignore them. If they're on social media, ignore them. If they're in your real life, just walk away. Don't hang out with them anymore. And if they try to call you, you block them on your phone, right? Block them on social media. Block them on everything, right? That's the best thing you can do right there. That'll make you the happiest right there, is blocking that negative shit out of your life, right? KL6 says, a friend of mine asked a lot of people this question in the months before he took his life. I'm sorry to hear about that. We don't wish that harm upon anyone over here. No one ever put it together that he had asked all these people because he was hurting. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people are really hurting from very emotionally draining and traumatizing, events that they've experienced. See, a lot of people just don't realize what people have been through, and even if they do realize it, they discredit it. When you come across people that have been traumatized, I mean, you got to take that into consideration. That's why you got to treat everyone, be nice to everyone. And the only way you're going to be nice to everyone is by amplifying your happiness and staying happy, right? If you're hurting or feeling empty, I'm here to talk, or can help get you into a situation where you're getting help, right? Psychologists, psychiatrists, right? Yeah, if you're contemplating ending yourself, folks, please reach out to myself or Don. Reach out to me, Elias Melas at genuinenetworkingassociation.org. That's Elias Melas at genuinenetworkingassociation.org. And if I can help you, or Dawn can help, my girlfriend Dawn can help you, we will. We help a lot of people behind the scenes. If we're not able to help you, we will refer you to someone that can, like a licensed professional, like a psychiatrist or psychologist, or both. It all depends on, the level, the level of trauma of where you're at. And no one can gauge that until we talk with you. That Chess Collated Quick is the name of the account. To be honest, these days, I think everybody needs somebody to talk to. Absolutely. That's what we're here for at the GNA. There's a lot of people that just don't feel they can talk to anybody. That's because they feel like they're going to get judged. And we're not going to judge you here at the GNA. We don't judge you at the Genuine Networking Association. Okay? We might tell you, hey, if you want to better your life, you got to stop doing that to yourself, right? Or stop associating with certain people, right? Or stop thinking about yourself a certain way. But we're not going to judge you. We're going to support you. We're going to share with you what needs to be done to turn your life around. And then we're going to support you. And we're going to continuously support you behind the scenes. That's what we do. Let me read one more from this posting here. This was a great comment by About 831. Give me a second. Let me check out the chat real quick. I had to laugh at that one. Yeah. A lot of the earlier comments were trolls that have more trauma than anyone and everyone, yet they can't admit it. They try to mask their pain, Tia, through trolling. Trolling is just another fancy way of saying I've got unresolved trauma and I'm going to project my shit onto other people I wish I could be like and mask my pain, or try to mask my pain. But guys like myself can read right through that, and so can you. All right. Okay. Number one, accepting myself for who I truly am. Right. You got to love who you are. You got to accept yourself. You got to be happy within yourself before you can make anyone else happy or be able to help anyone. I hated myself and didn't realize the severity. I used to hate myself too when I was younger. I've said that many times. I think we've all hated ourselves at one point or another. But you got to turn that around because you cannot be happy if you hate yourself or hate anyone. And hating other people typically starts by having hatred for yourself. Turns out people can't like themselves until they accept themselves. Right, you got to accept who you are. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, you got to accept yourself for who you are and come out and say, look, I don't care what anyone thinks about me. The only opinion of myself that really matters is my own. I keep saying that. You got to live by that rule. If you live by the rule of the only opinion that really matters is your own, then no one else's negative opinions or projections onto you are going to bother you, right? Number two, finding the courage to be vulnerable with people. Yeah, being vulnerable is the only way you're going to be able to allow yourself to heal and overcome the hatred you have for yourself, right? You got to allow yourself to be vulnerable to share with people what's really bothering you and not be afraid of being judged. And if you get judged, who gives a shit if you get judged? If you get judged, it's typically going to be by people that are worse off than you are, right? But the right people will be understanding and supportive, and they'll encourage you to love yourself and to amplify your happiness that we've been talking about. I've learned that people cannot know and love me until I allow them to know me. Right. If you close yourself off, if you shut yourself off from people in the world, then what the hell do you expect? Right? Allow people the opportunity to get to know you. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you don't have your guard up a little bit. I mean, I think you should have a guard up a little bit. You shouldn't be fully guarded. You got to give people a chance, but you have to also become better at deciphering rather quickly who's legitimate, who's genuine, who isn't. Out here on YouTube, I've got so many people coming to my channels that and they try to pretend to be legitimate. They do this thing called buddy trolling, and they try to pretend to be legitimate to waste my time on someone that's never going to support the channel genuinely, monetarily, etc. So I've learned to look for certain keywords, or look to see how they approach the conversation the first time they come in. A lot of these phonies, they'll come in and they'll immediately try to take over your show because they don't want to waste their time trying to build up rapport for a month before they say one thing to trash you, and then you ban them, and then they did all that work for nothing, right? So you gotta get better at properly vetting people out in and out of your life. But you cannot completely close people off, or you're going to be alone and miserable and unhappy. Okay? That's been a challenging lesson for someone who's lived a life hiding behind constructed walls. Yeah, that's because you've probably been rejected a lot of times, like we all have. You've probably been criticized. Okay? If you're not in the perfect shape, you probably have had your looks criticized, right? Okay? Etc. And you just got to learn to let that stuff go, or work on yourself. Take all that as constructive criticism instead of people attacking you. Fix all of that, and then come back and show people who you really are. And that'll shut people up, right? I've done that many times in my life. Number 3, related to 2, working on establishing social connections with people who lift me up rather than tear me down. Right. Avoid the trolls and focus on positive, genuine people. Okay? But you gotta allow people, to come into your life to see if they're genuine. But be careful, because the moment someone is not genuine, you'll be able to tell. A lot of people, behave a little differently or a little off when they're not being genuine. So let people in, but listen to what they say very, very carefully. Watch their behaviors very carefully. And the moment you notice something is off, ask them about it. And if they question you or say, "Why are you questioning me?" then get rid of them, because someone that's truly there for the right reasons will say, "Yeah, oh yeah, man, I'm here because of this." People that are trolling, when you question them on trolling, they get triggered even more. And then you know they're trolling, right? All right, give me a second here. All right. Number 4, journaling. I hated the idea, but once I got started, I found that it is an excellent way to process and vent, especially for someone like myself who has precious few people to process and vent with. Yeah, it used to be that way for me in my younger days when I didn't love myself as much. I didn't have as many friends. I have a lot of friends now. And to be honest with you, as I've gotten older, even though I have a lot more friends, I still care for them, and I'll reach out to them on social media or call them every now and then. But as you get older, you're going to focus more time on your family, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, kids, and other stuff, right? But if you're younger, or let's say you're older and you're still alone, if you're older and you're still alone, that's because, you haven't worked through any of your personal issues from a younger age. A lot of people will call themselves a loner in that situation. And when you're like that, not a lot of people are going to want to be around you. Now, as far as I'm concerned, those types of people, everyone's welcome here, but we even more so welcome those types of people that consider themselves to be loners, because we can help you get back on track. We can help you learn to better love yourself, amplify your happiness, and that way you will attract more and more people into your life that you'll be able to talk to in the future and vent out your frustrations with. And they'll listen to you and you'll listen to them. Sufficiency, the idea that I am good enough and worthy of being loved just as I am right now, problems and all. For more on sufficiency, check out this other book, Brené Brown's book, The Gifts of Imperfection. Okay, maybe I'll look at that later on. Well, you got to have self-love, right? And you got to tell yourself, no matter what you're going through, no matter how much success or failures you've had in life, okay, you got to tell yourself you're worth it. And even if you're not as successful as you would like to be at this point in your life, you can focus on becoming more successful, but you got to keep it positive. You've got to learn to love yourself. You've got to become a happy person. You got by amplifying your happiness, and you got to stay happy, because happiness is going to attract the right people you need to help you accomplish whatever it is you're trying to accomplish in life, personally and professionally. Number 6, holding intentions rather than having expectations. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll agree there. You should never expect anything, but you should always hope for the best, shoot for the best, right? Don't give up on yourself, right? Personally and professionally, don't give up on yourself. Do things that are intentional. That's a great way to put it. I've heard the intentional type of coaching before. I actually like it, right? You want to do things intentionally that coincide with who you are and will show the world who you are, right? And then the world will reciprocate to you one way or another without you even really having to ask them. Now, sometimes you have to ask for certain things. Like if you're running a YouTube channel, you can ask for donations, just like, I'm going to mention that here in just a little bit. But never expect anything from anyone, because when you start to expect things, that's when they don't happen, usually, right? These helped me recover from a decade-long crippling depression. Oh, well, that's good, man. Glad to hear that you came out of that depression. Yeah, it's not easy getting rid of depression. But what works for one person doesn't always work for others, right? Every situation's unique. Everyone is unique and different. Everyone's going to handle criticism differently. Everyone's going to handle depression differently. Others are going to take longer to come around, than some other people, right? That may come around sooner, right? You got to find your own set of tools to find happiness, right? Right. And that's what we do here at the GNA. We help you find those tools. We may even offer you some of those tools, okay? And a lot of those tools are in your head. It's just how you process things, how you see yourself. It's just about, becoming inspired. It's just about having a support group that you can talk with. Half the battle, like you mentioned here earlier, is not having a group of people to talk to, not having someone to vent to, right? Like you did in number 4 there. All right, let's get to the next one here. Give me a second here. This next one is from the subreddit r/ask Reddit. And the title is, How Did You Become Happy? Let's take a look at this, okay? And what I'm going to do, because we are at 34 minutes, and I need to use the restroom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break and then come back in a few minutes and finish the rest of the 2 postings, which is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry about that. So let me cue up a little bit of some YouTube music here, royalty-free YouTube music. come on. Where are we? There we are. All right. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a quick break, about 5 minutes or so. And when I get back, we will continue with the other two postings. So stick around. We'll be right back. We're back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back. All right, yeah. Rip it, Ethan Mixel. Rip it, man. I want you all to feel good. Amp it up. Amp up your happiness. Let's go for the round. Let's get that energy up. Energy up. Energy up. Energy up. All right. We're just going to scratch it and get right back down to business. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome to everyone out there on Facebook. It's so great to reconnect with all of you out there. We're going to get right back to it here. Today, we are talking about amplifying your happiness, and the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, is about amplifying your happiness because, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you're not happy and you're not staying happy, you're not going to attract the right people in your life personally or professionally to accomplish whatever it is you desire. Happy people attract happy people, and miserable people attract miserable people, and typically it creates failure. So why would you want to fail? All you have to do is amplify your happiness, and you'll succeed at everything personally and professionally. Now, you're not going to succeed right off the bat, but you're going to be on the road to success. If you remain miserable, you're going to continue to fail, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. You're going to sink into depression, and it's just going to not be good. So why would you do that to yourselves? Why would you do that to yourselves? Okay, so during the first part of the show, we went over one Reddit posting. I've got two more to go over here. Let's get right back to it. Okay. Before I took an abrupt break because my bladder today, I'm sorry, folks. I know that's not the most professional thing to say. My bladder has been acting up. I've been drinking a lot of coffee. I've had a lot to do. Lots going on, online, offline, all good stuff, stuff that my girlfriend Donna and I are working around the house, and we've had other things to take care of. Too much to mention, but yeah, I've been drinking a lot of coffee, so when you drink a lot of coffee, it just runs right through you, right? Anyway, let's continue here. This is from the subreddit r/Ask Reddit, and the title is, How Did You Become Happy? Okay. Let's see what people are saying in this comment section here. Valnair says, 1 year ago, there is no shortcut to happiness, but these are just a few things that help me. Okay. Let's hear what you said there. Understand that it is okay to be selfish, and it is okay to make decisions that place your family. That place you as a sole benefactor. It is okay to make decisions that place you as a sole benefactor. You don't have to do what's best for your friends or your family, and certainly not whatever job or jobs you currently have. This isn't to say that you can't be generous with your time and help others, but when it comes to your big life decisions, they should be for you. I understand what you're saying there. You probably could have said that a little bit better, because I don't think being selfish is a good thing. But I do think you have to be selfish until you're able to start loving yourself. Once you figure out how to love yourself and amplify your happiness through the love you have for yourself deep within, then, there won't be a need to be selfish anymore. You have to be selfish to work on yourself internally. Because here's the thing, what I've noticed, okay? No matter how much help you get from a psychiatrist, psychologist, any doctor, no matter how much emotional support you have from your friends or your family or anyone else, until you are content within yourself for who you are, no one's going to be able to help you, right? So you got to focus on, loving yourself first. And yes, in that case, being selfish, I can understand that, okay? But it's not even really being selfish. It's about doing the right thing to become a better individual. So that way, when you participate in the world personally and professionally, then people will see the real you. They'll see you as a happy person, and your happiness will radiate. And you'll attract everything that you need for your life just by being happy, just by being who you are and accepting who you are. Work on improving yourself. That's exactly what we do here. And make sure it is for yourself. Your motivation for self-improvement matters because the only consistent factor in your life is going to be you. Yeah, you can't count on anyone besides yourself. You have to understand that and accept that you can't count on anyone besides yourself. Okay? Not your friends, not your family, and certainly not whatever job or jobs you currently have. Right. It all starts within you. It starts with how you show up, how you feel about yourself, right? And that's pretty much it. Eject things, especially people from your life that make you miserable with no return. Right. I've done that many times in my life. With my friends in the real world, with people on social media such as YouTube. You've got to remove bad seeds from your life. I've done many videos on that over the years on my YouTube channels. Search on YouTube, Elias Melas or Coach Elias Melas, removing bad seeds from your life. And you'll see several videos regarding that. Once you remove those bad seeds from your life and you don't let them affect you anymore, then you can focus on becoming a better version of yourself, learning to love yourself more, learning to amplify your happiness, and then the rest will fall into place. This is the hardest part because it means you may have to make some of the most difficult decisions you've ever made, and your friends and family may not agree with what you're doing or your reasonings. Right. There are a lot of people that don't want me doing the YouTube thing. They don't want me creating content. They don't want me being a content creator. This is what I love doing. I can't change what I love doing. And here's the thing. I love my family. I love my friends. I have, love for everyone in general. But I'm going to do what makes me feel good. I'm going to do what I enjoy doing. And I'm not going to let anyone, including my family, take away my purpose. This is my purpose. My purpose is to come out here and help people and uplift people and help them learn from my mistakes, right? If I ever had to give this up, it would be like me giving up my soul. I'd have nothing left. This is who I am. You got to figure out who you are, what makes you happy, and stick to it no matter what anyone else says, including your family and your friends. But you are only responsible for your happiness, not the happiness of your friends, your family, or whatever job or jobs you currently have. Amen. I could not have said that better myself. Big round of applause. Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the key factor here. None of this happens overnight. It takes time and opportunity to practice to truly create a mindset where you allow yourself to come first. Let me repeat that one more time. This is extremely important for everyone struggling with this. None of this happens overnight. It takes time and opportunity to practice to truly create a mindset where you allow yourself to come first. And that's not being selfish in saying that, okay? You got to put yourself first above everyone because you can't take care of anyone else until you take care of yourself first. Even with my girlfriend, Dawn, right now she's going through a lot of medical stuff and she needs my help more than ever before, right? But I first have to get up and take care of myself, get myself in the right mindset, feed myself properly, do what puts me in a good mood and keeps me in a good mood and keeps me happy and amplifies my happiness. And then I can say, okay, and now I feel good. Now let's go and help my girlfriend Dawn with whatever she needs, right? You got to take care of yourself first, right? Killer reply. I wish I could upvote 100 times. Me too. That was great. That was fantastic. Okay. Now, this person is responding to that last comment regarding the section where the original commenter stated work on improving yourself and make sure it's for yourself. And Kibu Ultra responds and says, this is, I think he meant to say where, not where. This is where I'm at now. I've been working on myself for the last 2 years, and I feel like I'm just now getting to a point where I can recognize my own issues easier. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. You gotta continue to work on yourself, and you gotta continue to be open to self-help, like what we teach here at the GNA. You gotta be open to other people's hearing other people's experiences and suggestions and stuff like that. And you're not gonna like it at first, because the only way that you're gonna be able to get to the point where you can recognize your issues is if you are open to hearing what those issues are that are going to be easier for other people on the outside to identify. Right? I have moments of happiness, but still dealing with stuff. But for the last 5 months, I've been working out and improved a bunch. Working out, getting in great shape will make you feel good. Especially if you were a little out of shape or overweight, right? Get into really good shape. Buy some nicer clothes. Groom yourself, right? Trim your beard nicely like I do, right? If you're balding, shave your head. There are so many things you can do that will make you look so good and attractive. And then you'll start to get attention that you never thought you could get, right? When you start to better love yourself and take care of yourself, the world will respond. Trust me. When you start to better take care of yourself and you really love yourself, right? The world will respond. But you got to love yourself in a non-selfish, humble way, okay? You can't go out and say, I love myself, so you should love me too. You just got to take care of yourself and let people see it for themselves. Let people come to you. Don't chase people. Let them come to you. I'm not saying don't approach people and say hi, but I'm saying even if you approach people, don't force them into a friendship. Just say, hey, my name is Eli. Great to meet you. Hope you're having a great day, right? Leave it at that and see what they say. If they say nothing, move on to the next, right? But keep a positive attitude and you'll see what happens. Eventually, people are going to flock towards you. They're going to recognize your improvement, right? And people that didn't know you, in the ways that you were behaving in the past before you made this change will just recognize you as a good person, right? I've tried working out before, but it would stop because it was always for shallow reasons like looking better for my partner and feeling better about how I look. Now I work out because I want to manage mental health, enter my 30s onward healthy, and minimize body issues like back pain and low stamina. I think every human being initially wants to be in better shape so they can attract a better life partner, right? Especially for me. I got into really good shape in my early 30s. And I started attracting, better quality women, right? At least from a physical standpoint, right? And then as I got into my 40s, I started to realize that, looks are going to fade, and I didn't need the hottest woman. I still wanted the one that took care of herself, reasonably. But I'm more so focused on, their personality and their heart and soul. And that's what I have right now. I have a beautiful woman with a beautiful heart and soul. But yeah, it's okay to, if it motivates you to get into better shape because you want to attract, a better partner or a better looking partner or whatever, that's fine as long as you understand it will also benefit you health-wise in other ways, right? Doing this has helped me realize where a lot of my anger, the anxiety, and ultimately sadness comes from. Okay, yeah, when you start to turn things around, you start to realize what's held you back, right? It's interesting, right? You get to see it and you're like, oh shit, I wasted the last 10 years of my life doing dumb shit I wish I would have, made this change 10 years ago. Or, let's say this person came across a book or a friend or someone that encouraged them to work on themselves. You're going to end up saying, I wish I would have come across this person or that book or whatever helped me turn this around 10 years ago. Then you start to realize, wow, how much further ahead would I have been had I known all this and turned things around 10 years ago, right? I think the same way. I think, if I started my YouTube businesses out here 10 years before I did, right around the time when YouTube was brand new, how much further ahead would I be? But I hadn't found myself completely to be able to do this at that level at that time. But I do think about it, and you do realize the changes once you make them. You do. You become more mature and more humble, and just, a more content person. Let's see. I microscopically doubt myself a lot. We all do that. That's normal. But you're heading in the right direction. You won't let that get to you. I feel confident in my big decisions, but I find that I always second guess myself or look for validation through the internet, whether it be if I'm training my dog right, if it's worth learning this or that, someone else would approach a situation I'm in. It builds up, and I feel inadequate when I can't have the same success or don't know if I'm following something correctly, and the fear of failure and frustration of trying to meet my own fragmented expectations makes me angry. Well, that was a run-on sentence, dude. I think what you're feeling there, everyone feels, and I wouldn't call that seeking validation. I would call that comparing that to other people. And we've all struggled with that. I've struggled with it, but I've gotten to the point in my life where the only person I compare myself to is myself. The only person I'm competing with is myself. When you become so self-confident, you have so much self-love, it doesn't bother you how much further ahead other people are, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you what the competition's doing. You focus on yourself. You compete only with yourself, right? And you only compare yourself to yourself, meaning, how was I yesterday, or how am I today compared to yesterday? Have I made improvements since yesterday? And your goal as a human being is to just get a little better each and every day. So just focus on comparing yourself to yourself, the previous day to the previous day and the previous day before that, and see how you're moving the needle forward. Thank you, Tia. Appreciate that. Let's see here. That was a very long run-on sentence. Come on. Grammar, people, grammar. Learning to control it and catch myself is hard. It's hard initially, but you'll get better at it. Trust me. I used to suck at it too. And at times, I still may suck at it, but I've gotten a lot better, and so will you. Keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. You are heading in the right direction. And this is very inspirational to read. Thank you for writing it. Part of me thinks it is normal to want to look stuff up. It is normal. We all do it. You're beating yourself up, dude. You know why you're beating yourself up? Because you are figuring out now what you wish you had figured out 10, 15 years ago. And I think back, just like you're thinking back, I think back to my mid-20s. If I knew in my mid-20s, 25 years ago, what I know now at age 50, how much better would my life be at this point? In certain ways. Okay? And more so, in my case, I'm talking about business-wise, financially, and all that. Relationship-wise, I've got a wonderful woman. I couldn't ask for anything better. Couldn't. Biggest heart and soul. And that's hard to come by. And does she have issues? Yeah. Do I have issues? Yeah, we all have issues, right? But you cannot, it's hard to find someone with a big, huge heart and soul. And that's what my girlfriend Dawn has. That cannot be replaced. And I love her dearly for that. So again, part of me thinks it is normal to want to look up stuff, whether it is curiosity or you're trying to build your own work method, but I should never need to evaluate my personal choices and should accept things for what they are. Nothing wrong with evaluating your choices. You should evaluate your choices because if you're legitimately trying to get ahead doing something and it's not working, maybe if you tweak it up a little bit, you might get to where you want to get to. I think you're really beating yourself up because you're realizing stuff now that you wish you had realized 5, 10, 15 years ago. And you're reacting exactly the same way as I did, and probably everyone else does once they figure out how to better love themselves. And this warms my heart reading this. I mean, this is well written and very honestly written. I wouldn't call looking up how to train a dog as validation, more making sure you have the knowledge you need to keep your pupper healthy. Good on you, though, for working on yourself, and I hope you reach your goals, but also enjoy the journey. Big round of applause. That was a positive response there. That's some great positive reinforcement. Big round of applause. Even people in the comments section were realizing that this dude is beating himself up while he's heading in the right direction. But I respect the fact that he's beating himself up because he's being humble about it. When you beat yourself up, you're being humble and you're realizing, shit, I made a lot of mistakes. Shit, I wish I knew this sooner. How much better ahead or better of a person would I have been today if I knew this 5, 10, 15 years ago? That was a great, great response in the comment section there. And now he goes on to explain everything again. And I'm not going to read that, but basically now he feels the need to explain himself, right? And nothing wrong with that at this point, but at some point, when you build your confidence to the level I have, you're not going to feel the need to explain anything to anyone, right? Now, if you run a YouTube channel like I do, and you got to give context to new people coming around, yeah, that warrants you explaining things. But honestly, based on what you said out here on Reddit, and you're not running a business, you're just putting out information, there's no need for you to better explain yourself. You did a great job explaining yourself in the first place. You just are still getting used to having self-love. It's something new for you, and you're liking the changes, but it's happening so fast, you're not used to it. You don't know what to do with it, right? And you're trying to be humble, and I get it. I understand the reaction here, but there's no need for you to have to explain it better. You did a great job. And when you become more and more confident, you'll realize that the first time you said it was good enough. And it was. And here's the kicker right here. I'm going to read one more, then I'm going to go to the final posting before I go off the air here. Balderm, what a great name. I'm bald myself. Balderm says, bonus points. You stop giving a shit about what other people think about you. One more time. This is the kicker. Bonus points by Balderm says, you stop giving a shit about what other people think about you. Big round of applause. Big round of applause. I mean, that's the best answer of them all right there. Let me highlight that. That's That's what it all boils down to right there. There's your answer. All right. One more to go here. Tia says, no problem. Yeah, Tia. Some people, you know how it goes, Tia. Now, you can tell people no, 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 and they don't take no for an answer, and they keep trying to come around. Oh, well. All right, the final Reddit posting is from the subreddit r/ask men, and the title is, how exactly did you find happiness in life? One more time. How exactly did you find happiness in life? The first person says, their name is Countoff, shifting your definition of happiness from euphoria to contentment. So euphoria is extreme excitement. You always have to be overly stimulated and have excitement and stuff, right? Instead of just being content and happy with things just being normal, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with feeling extreme happiness and excitement at times, right? But you don't need to feel that at times to be happy. You just need to be content. Be happy with who you are. Sometimes you just want to chill out and relax and not stress out and rest and recoup, right? You're so right. Just being content and thankful made me a happier person. Big round of applause. That's probably going to be my next topic. Being content is key to happiness. That's probably going to be the next topic. Being content is key to happiness. Because you don't always have to feel extreme excitement and always have to have something going on full force to be happy. You can be happy just chilling, watching Netflix or Hulu or Peacock or Paramount Plus or Max or whatever you watch. Sit there and chill with your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife or your family. I will tell you, my favorite thing to do is chill. Don't get me wrong. I work hard and I like to go out and exercise too. But my favorite part of the day is coming home at night and chilling with my girl, Dawn, my girlfriend, Dawn, and watching our shows and snuggling up with our dogs, eating dinner. And that's nothing super exciting. That's just being content. That's just being happy that these are the people I want to surround myself with. And just being around them makes me happy. Couldn't have said it better myself. Tia with the thumbs up. Let's see. We are at 1 hour and 14 minutes. Okay, we're almost done. Decent Duck 2490 says it's a female. This, so simple yet takes decades of work with oneself to truly get and implement it. But once you do, life becomes infinitely easier, in my honest opinion. Yeah, well, I don't know if I'd say it becomes easier, because sometimes you may struggle financially. You might go through a breakup or whatever. You'll know how to handle these situations better. And you'll also know how to recover from these situations. If you go through a breakup, you'll be able to work through it quicker and put yourself back out there and find someone else that's a better fit for you. Or if you lose your job, you'll be able to find another job quickly and continue paying your bills instead of not having any income and you know, not having anywhere to live or a car to drive or whatever. Now, you should always have, savings and a backup plan, right? But most people don't. And that's part of working on yourself, figuring out, hey, I got to have a backup plan. Like, you should figure that out in your 20s. Like in your early to mid 20s, that's when you got to start your 401k retirement plans or individual retirement account plans and stuff like that, and putting money away for a rainy day. You got to think about the future, right? But even some people don't think about that, and they need to focus on figuring that out too, right? But yeah, I mean, to truly get to, like, I'll say this, I'm 50 years old right now. I'm learning every day. And I really, really didn't truly, truly become content with myself. I don't know. I mean, it started happening probably in my early 40s, but I really, truly didn't start becoming content until I met Dawn, because I realized she's my soulmate. Because one of my dreams since I was a little kid was to find a woman to grow old with and have a love in my life. And if it happened younger, kids. If not, now it's too late. Obviously, Dawn and I are. I'm 50 and Dawn's 49. She can't have any more kids. We're too old anyway. She has her own kids. I found my soulmate, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So, for me, I didn't truly, become content until probably almost 3 years ago when I met Dawn. But I was getting there, and I was much more content in my 30s than I was in my 20s, and I was also much more content in my 40s than I was in my 30s, right? And I think every decade of life, you learn from the previous decade, and you end up becoming more content. So yes, it does take decades of work. That's a great way to put it. I try to do this. Some days are better than others. Right. Yeah. And that was the same person no, that was a different person. Okay. I try to do this. Some days are better than others. Right. Some days are better than others. Right. But don't let the days that aren't as good as the days that you want most of your days to be like, don't let those, subpar days bring you down. Just put them up the side. Say, hey, it was just one of those days. Tomorrow will be a better day. That's the way to look at it. Keep yourself positive. Keep yourself happy. Amplify your happiness, right? You're going to like me. What a great Reddit name there. Most people have periods of happiness. But at the end of the day, most people are content most of the time as opposed to being happy all the time. Being content is a form of happiness, in my opinion. So if you're content, that means you're happy. Okay? Now, there are levels of happiness. There's extreme happiness. Then there's just normal, content, everyday happiness. Being content is a form of happiness. And honestly, I think the best form of happiness is being content, because you don't always need to run at a high level of excitement or energy to be happy, right? At times, you will exude more energy than others, but you don't need to do it all the time. Most of the time, being content is the happiest state you can be in my opinion. Good point, though. Liquor Up. What a interesting Reddit name. The dopamine I get from receiving a record in the mail is temporary. It is. Whenever you get something new, you get that high for a minute or two, and then it's like, okay, off to the next, right? Once I shelf that record, the happiness is gone. Not only the happiness is gone, I think you become content. I think you're extremely happy once you get it. You got it. Now it's yours. You put it on the shelf. You know you have it. So you're content. You're happy. You're not as ecstatic as when you got it. But I bet you if somebody came and stole that record off your shelf, you'd be pissed off, right? You wouldn't be content anymore. You not only would be very unhappy, you wouldn't be content, right? Concentrate on the things that you can't shelf. Make the lives of the people whom love you better. Be of service to the people that nurture your soul. Right. So focus on the people that are good people that you're in alignment with and are in alignment with you. Don't focus on negative people that are trying to harm you in any way, shape, or form, or say nasty things to you, whether it's online or offline. Focus on the good people. That's what I do. I focus on Dawn, my family, other good people out here on YouTube and Facebook that I've known for a long time. Tia's one of them. Lewis Fuller's one of them that was here in the chat earlier on the YouTube side of things, right? Focus on the good people that deserve your time and completely shut out and ignore the people that don't. Understanding that the ultimate goal should be peace rather than happiness has gone a long way for me. Let me repeat that one more time. This is crucial. Understanding that the ultimate goal should be peace rather than happiness has gone a long way for me. I will tell you something. There's nothing more priceless than peace and quiet. Nothing more priceless than peace and quiet. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. Big round of applause. I could not have said that better myself. I hate low women. What does that mean? You hate? I don't even know what that username is. IHATLO women. I hate low women. I realized that there was no meaning or purpose in life. Well, for you, that is. I have a purpose. Most people have a purpose. You're struggling with loving yourself. I can already tell that with your first sentence. You're being negative and you're being insecure and you're projecting. That made me take a hard look at what I want and who I was as a person. I decided that I would make my own meaning in life. That's what you should do. That creates your purpose. Everyone's purpose is unique to them. And that was to be happy. And every single action I take is always related back to that. Good. The road there was long, though. 5 years of hard depression. Well, if you are struggling with depression for 5 years, I can understand why you would say something like, I realized that there was no meaning or purpose in life. Depressed people are constantly thinking that. And I tell people that I come across that are depressed or somewhat depressed that you have a purpose and you have, something special within you. And I can help you unlock it. And that's what I do. I can help figure out what people's purposes are and help them unlock that, which also is going to start making them feel better and either less depressed or not depressed at all anymore. Finding out what creates value and happiness in your life and working on yourself is hard fucking work, but very worth it. One more time, finding out what creates value and happiness in your life and working on yourself is hard fucking work, but very worth it. Could not have said it better myself. Big round of applause. And that's where I'm going to wrap up this show here today at 1 hour and 24 minutes. Tia with the 5 hearts in the chat. Thank you for that, Tia. That is definitely true contentment, says Tia. That's right. Let's go back to full screen here. All right. So it's all about amplifying your happiness here at the GNA from this point on. No negativity allowed. Now, we may have to call out some people every now and then, but we're going to do the best we can to keep even that positive. Primarily, we do that for example purposes to teach people how to deal with stuff like that. But it's all about positivity over here. And speaking of which, I'll be doing another live stream later on this afternoon in a couple of hours. A Walking with Purpose live stream, episode number, 797, I believe. I think so. Give me a second. Let me look. Let's look. Yeah, it's episode number 797. Will be happening on the other YouTube channel if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, you're going to have to subscribe to GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. The link is below in the Facebook description, or if it's in the posting, it's at the top. You'll see it there. You'll see where the information is written on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to both YouTube channels. Tap the notification bell and make sure you have all notifications on, because the streams that are mobile, which most of the streams on GNA2 are mobile, they are not simulcasted on Facebook. So please subscribe and join us on YouTube as well. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.